So yeah, action. We'll play once we get through this video. We'll play some Odd Remedy, okay? The Green Bean Rides. What, did you leave a comment, or did it just go up by one view?
Once a bustling artery for moving goods and people more than a century ago, the Pinkenba line now sits half abandoned and desolate. So, what happened? What does the abandoned line look like today, and what is the future for this underutilized
Rusty
rail corridor?
rail,
This is the Doomben Railway Line, a 10.7 kilometre long suburban railway line stretching from Roma Street Station, central Brisbane, to the Doomben Railway Line, northeast of the Brisbane CBD. However, the line used to extend much further to the suburb of Pinkenba, in fact, hence the name Pinkenba Line. Now all that remains is an
Where the fuck is he recording this? Why is there so much wind noise? What the fuck? Oh, dude, get better. Yeah, the video that I watched last time did pretty good.
Reminder of what once stood there through overgrown grassy platforms and rusty tracks.
Fuck no. Hey, look, train.
Right now, I'm standing at Eagle Junction Station, which is where the Doomben and former Pinkenba lines split off into their own separate rail corridors, which you can see behind me there somewhere. While the line technically starts at Roma Street, we'll only be exploring the stations on their own dedicated rail corridor, as that is where things really get interesting. But before that, a little bit of history. Initially, the Pinkenba line opened in
Pinkenba. Probably won't be able to find it on this fucking map, knowing my dumbass, but holy fuck. The amount of rail net. Oh, there's that fucking line that we reacted to the other day, actually. That fucking cross junction line. Fuck yeah.
1882 to Ascot to serve the Eagle Farm Racecourse, and was extended to Pinkenba in 1897 to serve nearby industrial areas.
All the way to Pinkenba.
Throughout its 120-year-long history, the line served
1988, just after electrification. Oh my god. That station looked comfy as hell.
The communities living along the suburb of the railway moved troops between nearby troop camps, serviced industrial areas, and ships located near the mouth of the Brisbane River, while also providing a rail link with the old Brisbane airport.
Is that railway line right by the Ford factory? It is, I think. Pretty sure that's the rail network there. Yeah, see, there's the platform. Bringing people to work. This is the industrial estate. Oh, it's the whole fucking plant.
The closure of the old airport in 1988, the need to move troops ceasing, and shrinking populations along the latter part of the line, as part of the Goss government's statewide initiative to reorganise the railways and close underutilised and non-profitable lines, on September 27th, 1993, the Pinkenba line closed off completely to regular passenger service.
The abandoned station
in 1998, however, the line reopened, but only as far as Doomben. The line past that point has fallen into decline, only being rarely used by trains catering to the industrial areas nearby, and a heritage steam line service run by Queensland Rail. Right now we're at Clayfield Station, the first station on the dedicated Doomben rail track corridor. Now it's a pretty normal looking station, a bit roughed up, and there's a weird overpass which you don't.
I really like the way that these guys do their videos, by the way. I like the style. Fuck, this is just sad to see though. You can sort of see where vehicles have travelled as they've gone through and actually ripped up the track. Like the train would have gone through there, veered to the side a little bit, so it had room for the carts overhanging the rail, and cleared the platform.
Don't really see on the Queensland Rail network, but other than that, it's a pretty normal station. Until you go over to the second platform, and where there should be track, there is nothing but a cutout. Now, in the 50s, earthworks were started to duplicate the rail corridor here, but it was kind of abandoned. The rail crossing at Sandgate Station was removed, as you can see in this old photo.
Holy shit. Yeah, see, there's the underpass, and then you got the steam train going up there. Because they're building the new station down here, and they're going to move the line down.
But nothing really came of it. And this is how the entire corridor is. It's just single track. Maybe even then they knew that this corridor wasn't going to be as popular, so they never bothered continuing with the works. As you can see here, this is the entrance to Clayfield Station, and it looks more like a bomb shelter than it does an actual train station entrance.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, that's all I have to say for this. Only 700 metres from Clayfield, we arrive at Hendra Station. In fact, both the stations are so close you can see them in one shot right there. Now, similar to Clayfield, there's also an abandoned platform on my left, which
I didn't realise it.
In the 50s. Now, the station itself, as with more similarities to
I fucking
Clayfield,
love trains.
a station building.
It genuinely makes me upset when I see this kind of shit because I love trains. I hate seeing the derelict tracks. Like, how it would take fuck all effort for our government and fuck all time and money for our government to bring these tracks back to life. We've already got the trains, the network, the overhanging power lines. It's already set up. It's there. It's ready. All you need to do is go through, do a safety inspection on the line, make sure the systems work, and then just slap a track on that train on the, and then you're good. Like, what the fuck?
Which is also looking like a disused bomb shelter with signage that the Queensland Rail Network hasn't seen since 2009. And behind that station is an overpass. And that's really the entire station. There's nothing that interesting in this one. Going to a level crossing past Zillman Road, we arrive at Ascot Station over here. And in good old Doomben Line fashion, it's located only 850 metres away from Hendra in that direction. They surely did love their closely packed stations back in the 1890s.
Yes, so nobody wanted to walk that 800 metres.
Of the line when it was first built in 1882 serve the Eagle Farm Racecourse to my right over there. However, the racecourse was the only thing it served, as regular passenger services did not commence until local residents successfully lobbied for it to. However, back then, it wasn't known as Ascot, it was known as Hendra Siding. Later renamed Racecourse, and eventually to Ascot in 1897, as we...
Why the fuck would you rename a station like 3 or 4 different times? What the fuck would have to be going through your head for that?
All know it today.
In 1993, all passenger services on
I don't like his voice.
The Pinkenba line were suspended, with the exception of special event day services to Ascot Station servicing the Eagle Farm Racecourse. Things continued this way up until 1998, when finally passenger service...
You know how to make his voice sound good? Put an AM radio filter over it.
Service recommenced. However, now terminating at Doomben Station, passenger trains would never again continue any further than Doomben Station. In 2004, all of Ascot Station became heritage listed, meaning everything you see here is here to stay.
Oh, thank God.
Ascot Station has 2 platforms. However, platform 2 has been walled off and out of use for many years. Interestingly,
easy, just jump on the train line.
Signs and station building can still be seen on platform 2 of Ascot Station.
Dude, that's Queen. That looks really cool. There's some random dude in his underwear.
Yes.
You can hear the electric engines whir up as it goes.
We have arrived at Doomben, the terminus of the Doomben line. Originally opened in 1909 as Doomben Racecourse, it was later renamed just to Doomben. Interestingly, though, this is not the original Doomben station. The original station is 300 metres west of this station, as you can see in this aerial foot.
Wait, hang on. They moved the station? Why the fuck would you move that? Oh, probably because it was too close to the crossing. I suppose it's fair. It's probably also too close to another station for them to have it worthwhile if it was up that way.
Footage from 1972. In 1976, the old Doomben station merged with Weinstein's station, the next station of the Pinkenba line, and led to the construction of the current Doomben station, which was originally known as Doomben-Weinsteins before being renamed Doomben in 1988. The reason for the merging was that the cost of levelling both stations was more expensive than building a central station, as both stations were located less than 500 metres away from each other.
What the
About
fuck?
the current Doomben station, well, it's
about
actually
lazy?
quite weird. The second platform was permanently closed, as with the other stations on the Doomben line, with this brutalist concrete ramp leading up to said platform, and then above me there is some sort of office with the old QR logo stuck on it that you'll see nowhere else on the Queensland Rail network
Office.
except
That is
here.
awesome.
Like the station design is stuck in communist-era Poland. It's quite bizarre, actually.
But
Is it the same guy? Is it the same guy? Yeah,
the trains are only 3 carriages anyways. They
Welcome to
probably fit on
Weinstein
all the old
Station, the
lines.
first abandoned station on the Pinkenba line, or the place
The
where it
first
used to be.
abandoned one.
Because just like the old Doomben station in 1976, this station was abolished, and the only thing that remains is the stone masonry on the sides. Now, before 1976,
fuck
this station
me.
served the Hamilton.
What is it with the fucking... Why is our government so fucking retarded? Oh my god. A bunch of absolute dicks.
Wharves down that way, but since then the rail junction has been removed and the level crossing over Kingsford Smith Drive has been concreted over back in 2016. The next station on the line is Eagle Farm Station. Originally opened as Barnini in 1952, a few months later it was quickly renamed to Airport because it used to serve the old Brisbane Airport before it was relocated to its current location. In 1988, when the airport for
I didn't
the
realise
old
they moved
airport
the
finally
Brisbane one.
closed, the station was renamed Eagle Farm. 1988 also marks the year that the Pinkenba line was electrified. However, it was only electrified to Eagle Farm, and you can see the electrification cables abruptly stop just after the station over there.
Yep.
I'm not going to venture onto the platform myself for fear of death or worse, getting cornered by the Rozzers for trespassing, so hopefully you can see the old platform rail
Rozzers.
from over this fence.
The fucking Rozzers. Oh no. Fucking Queenslanders, bro.
What the platform looked like in 2007 before the station building was removed in 2012. Right now we're at the next station on the line, only 400 metres down from Eagle Farm, and it's called... This is also Eagle Farm Station. How may that be, you may ask? Well, this is the original Eagle Farm Station, built with the 1897 extension of the Pinkenba line to serve the suburb of Eagle Farm. However, later on in 1976, the old Eagle Farm Station was closed down, presumably because it was just too close to the airport station, the previous station. And so it now lays dormant like this, all overgrown.
Probably. God, that's painful. It used to be green.
This is Banor Station, originally built in 1949 as an infill station, serves the growing industry around us as well as the military barracks on my right. Now, if you're unfortunate enough to use the Pinkenba line before it got axed, don't worry, they established a shuttle service, a shuttle bus service in fact, and as you can see it here, the 303. Unfortunately though, it's quite pathetic.
It doesn't
only
fucking
runs
run, does it?
12 times a day between Pinkenba and Doomben in both directions, and doesn't run on Saturdays or Sundays. So you're out of luck if you still work here and want to catch public transport. Now, to demonstrate how close the stations are, I wanted to do a little experiment. I'm going to walk from here, Banor Station, all the way to the next station over there, Meander, and see how long it takes me. So let's do that.
Do it.
That only took me 11 minutes,
Fucking
and that's on
Christ.
foot. A train would have made it quicker. And I got to remind you,
Yeah, that's
this is
true.
one of the more distant distances between two stations on the Pinkenba line. So yeah, they're really close together. Anyway, without further ado, this is Meander Station, second last station on the Pinkenba line. It was
Can we just take a moment to just admire the track here? Even after all this time. Pretty sure these concrete sleepers here, which last a lot longer than the wooden ones in terms of age, but they're too expensive for them to use on lines that, well, don't really service much, so I'm surprised to see them here, I must say.
was opened with the original construction of the Pinkenba line in 1897 and was closed in 1930 in light of the Great Depression. However, it was reopened soon after in 1931 because of protests from local residents and workers alike. However, being located next to a military barracks, it served a more important military purpose of transporting troops during World War I and World War II from Pinkenba, from the suburbs and the surrounds to the Pinkenba wharves where they boarded ships and served abroad. Lucky last, we have Pinkenba Station, and this is where things get interesting. The original Pinkenba Station was built in 1897 with the construction of the Pinkenba line,
that looks pretty good.
Pinkenba wharves and transporting goods, workers and military service personnel during both World Wars. In 1969, the station was rebuilt north of the wharves.
So that's the new station, it's the town, that's where the old station is. Okay, so it's a little bit away from the wharf now. Wait. How'd they get the train line? How'd they do the train line then? The track clearly goes up here, around there, and then back down the line.
Closer to the town of Pinkenba. Finding a picture of the original 1897 station was a bit difficult, as all these sources I could get my hands on did not specify a location, with one of the only useful pieces of information being this image I found on Wikipedia for the station from 1935. What I ended up doing was matching this tree, hut, and curving track to this aerial imagery from 1936 of Pinkenba, coming to the conclusion that the station was located here on a modern map.
Okay.
This
Actually works very well.
is the original site.
So, this is something that I really, really like about these people, the way that they do things, is they go in depth with their research about the stations. You can tell they're definitely passionate about this. I really, really enjoy watching these guys. I really do.
The Pinkenba Station, the 1969 Pinkenba Station, and as you can see, there's absolutely nothing here. It's unrecognisable. They've concreted and constructed over this place completely. So where that wall used to be, that used to be the station. Now the original 97 station is over there somewhere, over those near the silos, and unfortunately it's private property, so I can't visit it. So this is the best view we're going to get of Pinkenba Station. As you can see, it's not a station anymore.
Throughout this video, I've made it sound like the Doomben line is a failure on every level, waiting to be closed down. You might ask, however, what is the future for the Doomben line? Well, as it turns out, the future might look promising with a few changes to the line, that is. The future lies in the suburb of Hamilton, specifically southeast Hamilton, which is located 1.1 kilometres from Doomben Station. Just a few years ago, this area was an industrial wasteland, just like Pinkenba, as you can see on this Google imagery. But in 2008, the North Shore Hamilton project was announced, which would see the redevelopment of the area into housing and amenities for 13,000 new residents.
And clearly, they've been successful. Because 10 years ago, there was nothing here.
Extending the Doomben line into Hamilton would revitalise the line, providing more people the opportunity to take public transport and removing more cars from the road as a consequence. A full transport hub can be created with the train line, ferry service, and
anything to give us more trains,
which can be cheaply developed on more industrial land close to the housing development. Now, about that industrial land that is located next to the housing development, I forgot to mention that it will house the athletes for the 2032 Brisbane Olympic Games. Therefore, adding a train station to Hamilton is an absolute necessity. As for logistics, the line would need to be duplicated in order to cope with more frequent services.
Yeah, it'd need a second
This would not be as expensive as all the earthworks are already done back in the 50s, with only minor excavation being needed in some places, and all the stations in the line already have 2 platforms. They just need to be cleaned up a bit. I'm not the first to come up with this idea. In fact, I'm 13 years too late, as I found this article describing the same benefits that would be reaped if the line was extended. So let's beg Stephen Miles and Albanese for more public transport money, and hope that the TransLink will open a case study for the extension of the line to connect a further 24,000 residents to the rail network. After all, the 50-cent fares are proving effective, making the justification for more public transport extensions easier to justify in Parliament. After I wrote the script, it was recently announced that the busway network would be extended, and part of the plan implied that the Doomben line would be converted into a metro bus service before the 2032 Olympics, with the metro, in this case referring to the double-articulated buses that Andrew Schumer and the Brisbane City Council is pushing out. If this is constructed, this would mean the end of the Doomben line. A sad suggestion. Personally, my only criticism of this is that they haven't extended the busway to Hamilton, which is in dire need of more public transport.
With this being the state of the 1969 Pinkenba Station, well, it's a bit sad, really. All this heritage just going to waste. There's nothing left, essentially. It's been concreted over. It's brand new. But maybe it wasn't about Pinkenba Station. Maybe it was about the friends we made along the way.
Shut the fuck up. It was all about money. Government only cares about money.
And with that thought, thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something new today.
And with that thought, I'm going to go neck myself.
So what can you tell us about Pinkenba, the community of Pinkenba?
fuck's sake.